The 9-hole peg test is a tool used to measure unilateral finger dexterity to determine the extent of fine motor impairment in people experiencing difficulties with functional performance. The population consists of children and adolescents ages 4 through 19, adults aged 20 to 94. The description of this test is: with the pegboard in position, pegs are placed off to the side being assessed, in close proximity to the board. The subject is read standardized instructions to put the pegs in the board as quickly as possible and then remove them. Time is recorded in seconds. Usman, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. So today we're going to go through a few assessments to see how well you are able to manipulate objects with your left and right hand. Okay. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
This will be a practice test. Pick up the pegs one at a time using one hand only. Place them in the holes until the 9 holes are filled and then remove them all one at a time. The pegs may be placed in any hole in any order. This is a practice test. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Okay, this will be the actual test. Pick up the pegs one at a time, using one hand only. Place them in the holes until all 9 are filled and then remove them all one at a time. The pegs may be placed in any holes in any order. Are you ready?
Yes.
Go. Okay, now we're going to try it with your left hand. Okay. And the instructions are the same. Pick up the pegs using one hand only. Place them in the holes until all 9 are filled, and then remove them all one at a time. The pegs may be placed in the holes in any order. Are you ready?
Yes.
Go. Thank you. Before scoring Ms. Guzman's performance, we look at the average performance of normal females on the 9-hole peg test. We attain the mean and standard deviation for both the left and right hand in females aged 20 to 24, which is the age group Ms. Guzman falls into. Then we are ready to calculate Ms. Guzman's approximate Z-score. Clients are scored based on the time taken to complete the test activity, recorded in seconds. The stopwatch should be started from the moment the participant touches the first peg until the moment the last peg hits the container. We use the formula located on the top right of the form to calculate the Z-score. It is the patient's mean time minus the norm's mean time, then divided by the standard deviation. We repeat this for both hands. A high score indicates poor performance. A negative score means above the mean, better than the average performance. The 9-hole peg test shows concurrent validity. Ways to improve the validity: by establishing a certain pinch that should be used when picking up the pegs. Also, more research to see how well the assessment forecasts future abilities. And by comparing the assessment to other assessments who are set to measure the same criteria. The 9-hole peg test shows high inter-rater reliability and test-retest reliability. Ways to improve reliability include remaining loyal to the standard procedures and making observations during administration, ensuring that the testing environment is stable and free of distraction, and by providing an example on how to score the assessment. The box and blocks test is used to assess unilateral gross manual dexterity in adults and children to determine functional levels of the upper extremity in people with disability compared to those without disability. It can also be used as a pre-vocational testing tool for people with physical disabilities. The population for this test are adults aged 20 to 75 and older with or without disabilities. The description of this test is to begin with the dominant hand. The subject is instructed to quickly move the blocks from one side of the box to the other, placing them after passing over the center divider. After a 15-second trial, the subject is allowed 1 minute for transferring blocks. After 1 minute, the total number of blocks placed is counted after subtracting the blocks placed in error. The dominant hand follows. Okay, Ms. Guzman, I want to see how quickly you can pick up one block at a time with your right hand. Carry it to the other side of the box and drop it. Make sure your fingertips cross the partition. Watch me while I show you. If you pick up 2 blocks at a time, they will count as 1. If you drop one on the floor or table after you have carried it across, it will still be counted, so don't waste your time trying to pick it up. If you toss the blocks without your fingers crossing the partition, they will not be counted. Before you start, you will have a chance to practice for 15 seconds. Do you have any questions? Place your hands on the sides of the box. When it is time to start, I will say ready and then go. Ready? Go. Stop. Okay. So I think you did a good job. So now this will be the actual test. The instructions are the same. Work as quickly as you can. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Go. Stop. Thank you. Now you're going to do the same thing with your left hand. First, you can practice. Put your hands on the sides of the box as before. Pick up 1 block at a time with your hand and drop it to the other side of the box. Ready?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Go. Stop. Good job. This will be the actual test. The instructions are the same. Work as quickly as you can. Ready?
Yes.
Go. Before scoring Ms. Guzman's performance, we look at the average performance of normal females on the box and blocks test. We attain the mean and standard deviation for both the left and right hand in females aged 20 to 24, which is the age group Ms. Guzman falls into. Then we are ready to calculate Ms. Guzman's approximate Z-score. We use the formula located on the top right side of the form to calculate the Z-score. It is the patient's mean time minus the norm's mean time divided by the standard deviation. We repeat this for both hands. When scoring, a high score indicates better performance. A negative score means below the mean. The box and blocks test shows construct validity. Ways to improve validity is by assessing the test in a clinic and in a different setting to improve ecological validity. By using other objects instead of the blocks can increase the face validity. And by comparing the test to other assessments aside from the Minnesota rate of manipulation test can help increase the construct validity of the box and blocks test. The box and blocks test shows high test-retest reliability and inter-rater reliability. Ways to improve the reliability by providing an example of how to calculate the score, maybe providing a training video on how to administer the assessment, and ensuring adherence that standard procedures and observing the patient occurs during the administration. The purpose of the groove pegboard test is to assess manipulative dexterity, including finger speed. The test requires more complete visual motor coordination than most pegboards because the pegs must be rotated before they can be inserted. The description of the test is: standard instructions are read out loud to explain shape and pegs and method in which they are inserted into the pegboard. Each hand is tested separately. Time is recorded for each trial with the dominant hand tested first. Hey, Ms. Guzman, this is the pegboard and these are the pegs.
Okay.
All the pegs are the same. They have a groove that is a round side and a square side, and so do the holes in the boards. What you must do is match the groove of the pegs with the groove on the boards and put these pegs into the holes like this. When I say go, begin from here and put the pegs into the boards as fast as you can, using only your right hand. Fill the top row completely from this side to this side. Do not skip any. Fill each row the same way you filled the top row.
Okay.
Any questions?
No.
Ready?
Yes.
As fast as you can. Go. Now you're going to put the pegs into the boards as fast as you can using only your left hand. Fill the top row completely from this side to this side.
Okay.
Don't skip any. Fill each row the same way you filled the top row. Any questions?
Alright.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
As fast as you can. Go. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Before scoring Ms. Guzman's performance, we look at the average performance of normal females on the groove pegboard test. We attain the mean for both the dominant and non-dominant hand in females aged 24, which is Ms. Guzman's age. Record the time in seconds. Each trial begins when the subject starts the task until the last peg is put in, or the test is discontinued. A trial may be discontinued after 5 minutes. In such cases, the difficulty is described and the score is given an A flag, indicating that it's an incomplete test. The second score is a number of drops made during each trial. A drop is an unintentional drop of a peg from the time the subject attempts to pick it up, the peg from the tray until it is placed correctly in the hole. The third score is the number of pegs correctly placed in the holes for each trial. The task is performed once with the dominant and then once with the non-dominant hand. For each hand, the 3 scores are summed: the total time plus the total number of drops plus the total number of pegs correctly placed in the board to get the complete score. The groove pegboard test shows base and content validity. Ways to improve the validity is to compare the groove pegboard test with other assessments, making the test more vocational based, and more studies need to be done to better predict the validity of the test. The groove pegboard test shows test-retest reliability. Ways to improve the reliability is by ensuring that the tester is remaining loyal to the standard procedures and observations of the patient is occurring. Ensuring that the testing environment is stable and free of distractions, and more studies are needed to better predict the reliability. I will pass down this information to your physician. I recommend you come in for occupational therapy so that we can work together on being able to do more things like opening doors, turning on your car, and other daily activities with your right hand. Thank you.